Anyway, as I was saying, it's fun to do some new projects. This is kind of challenging me how to do the front with the with pumpkins and things that are normally in one of these. It'll prove to be very interesting for me to see how I'm going to put that together myself. I'm going to be the first one, to be honest with you, and I'm sure maybe some other carvers. I never know exactly how a carving's going to turn out. I do my best to have an idea, and sometimes it just evolves when you carve. Even like with this horn coming up and around, it can be very interesting how things finally are put together. And sometimes when you least expect it, sometimes the ones that I did the least amount of planning for, believe it or not, ended up being some of the best carvings I ever did. And not saying that you shouldn't have a plan and all that. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is sometimes you'll get surprised by what you can actually do with a carving and how it turns out. Because like I said, I don't have a real good. I have a general idea of how it should look, but how to get to that point is the challenge. So, and like I say to new people, what you see today may not, what you don't see today. Let me rephrase that. What you don't see today may not be what you see tomorrow. So. If something doesn't look quite right today, if you've been carving for a while, you go, oh, and you go back to it, sometimes you won't see those things right off the bat when you carve. You see them later on after you get more skills and you're a little more confident with carving. Then you begin to see those areas that you could have improved. And it's a process. It's not something you learn overnight. It's trial and error. And when I was at the group the other day, I was trying to explain to them that it doesn't matter how bad the carving is. A lot of the time, 90% of the time, you can probably fix it. It may not turn out exactly as you planned it to be, but you can repair it or help it along a little bit. So. I'm just putting a stop cut, and those of you that have been carving for a while, stop cut's just simply putting a line in like what I'm doing now, and then taking my knife and pushing it up to that line. That is where the cut ends. You gotta be careful because the grain is running this way, and it's making it just a tad difficult for me to cut that ridge of that basket out like it should. Alright, I'm not going to worry so much about this in the back because I'm going to have to do some of this offline to smooth that out underneath and to scoop this out a little further, I think. Okay, so that's something that's going to be a process because this will all have a design on it when we're done. You can make this as complicated as you like or as easy as you like. If you just want to have, once you're done with the basket, you can just stain it or make it brown and put more of your detail in the front. But I'm going to do like a little bit of a basket weave on it. And when we get to that point, so this might take a little longer than just one day for me to finish this off, but you'll get a general idea for it then, for sure. Alright, so that's the horn portion of it. Now we're going to finish up. I'm going to go underneath here just establish where that line goes. And I'm going to go up here, reestablish where my stop cuts go. Okay, and the same thing here, I'm going to follow that down. There we go. Alright, so we got a general idea where that is. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to round the front off, okay? I'm just going to round it off so we can get to a point where we can start putting our designs on there for our vegetables and such. And I want to get this corner off of here, so rounding it off. Like so. When you go across the grain, folks, it's really important to have your knife very, very sharp. Some of you have asked what I use. I use a Rough Rider. There's a whittling jack that you can buy too if you want something that folds, that's already that blade is already pre-done and ready to go. This one here, I had to actually take the blade and reshape it and all that. It's a 440 stainless steel. I'm surprised how well this knife keeps an edge. Again, I'm going to tell you, if you haven't done your own knives before or reshaped any blades, this is not the one I would recommend for a beginner. For the beginner, it would be more of a stationary knife. If I can find one in my box, I will show it to you. Here's one that I bought many, many years ago, where the blade is fixed into the handle, where it won't fold on you. That's really important for a beginner, to have a good knife. Like I said, Gene made mention of it, and we have some good knife makers around, so take advantage of that, and I'm sure you won't go wrong. You can also buy these knives at wood carving shows if you go to them. I don't know, there's too many going on right now with the end of the year, but in spring you'll find more of the shows coming up again in March. Alrighty, offline I'm going to clean this all up around a little bit more, and then we'll be ready to put our vegetables in, or our produce. Alright, bye-bye.